What's up, guys? GameNut here, and welcome back to now week 14 of my NFL regular season predictions. Let's, of course, go ahead, take a look back at week 13 and see how well we ended up doing. And you guys can see right now the check marks, the X marks, and we're starting to do a little bit better, okay? You know, the past couple of weeks, like 2 or 3 weeks, we've been starting to do a little bit better once again. And as you guys can see, we ended up going 10-6. You know, not too bad. We finally hit that double-digit mark once again. We got 10 games correct, and we did get 6 wrong. And on the other hand, for Madden 19, they actually matched us. They had the same record. They had 10 games correct, 6 wrong. We didn't get the exact ones correct and wrong, a little bit different, so that's kind of an interesting scenario how that played out there. But both of us going 10-6, that obviously still leaves us with a 4-game lead on the overall record for Madden 19, and we now currently have a record of 109, 81, and 2. They have a record of 105, 86, and 2. So hopefully we can continue our momentum from last week into this week and get like 10, at least 10 games right again. Hopefully like 11, a little bit more, at least double digits is what I'm asking for. But as we of course start off with Thursday Night Football, we are going to be taking our first L of the week. I mean, I'm literally a curse. Like, I think I've gotten like one Thursday night game correct this entire year, excluding Thursday night or excluding Thanksgiving, because that was 3 games in one. I did get only one right then, so I guess technically I've gotten 2 games right. But outside of that, I've only gotten one Thursday night game right this entire year, man. Like, it's just, I'm literally a curse. Like, I don't know, man. I thought because the Jaguars, like, their defense came back because they shut out Andrew Luck last week, so I was like, hey, Jags defense looks like they're actually back. They're playing kind of good. The Titans are such an inconsistent team, man. One week they'll beat the Patriots, next week they'll almost lose to the Jets. I mean, it's just, it's crazy, and I didn't expect Derrick Henry to go off for 240-something yards and 4 touchdowns either. That was just absolutely stupid, but you guys obviously saw it. I did pick the Jaguars to win. I didn't really care too much about this game. I didn't think that the Titans actually would do it, but of course, per usual, we're cursed, and we're starting off Thursday night by guessing incorrectly. So that is now going to lead us into our Sunday games, of course. And first on the list, we do have the New York Jets, who are sitting 3-9, going to take on the Buffalo Bills, who are 4-8. And I think I'm going to have to go with New York once again, man. I know I pick them a lot, and they keep letting me down. Obviously, they've got 9 losses. That's probably where a lot of my losses came from this year, because I keep deciding to pick the Jets. But I think they're going to get revenge against the Bills. They just played not that long ago, and the Bills got the best of them. But I think Sam Darnold is coming back, and I think because of that, well, we should have like a rookie QB battle going here, and I think I'm going to have to go with Sam Darnold being the one that comes out on top. Our next divisional matchup of the week is going to be coming from the NFC East, where we have the New York Giants, 4-8, going to take on the Washington Redskins. They are sitting at now 6-6. This is kind of an interesting matchup, man. I don't know. The Redskins, like, I feel like they still have some fight in them, but the Giants, they're like kicking into high gear here in the end of the season, and they're trying to pull off like a couple of wins. They could finish 8-8. It's possible. It's probably unlikely, though. I don't know. I think I'm going to have to go with the Redskins, though. Their defense is still there. They play pretty decent. Odell is actually going to be out for this game for the Giants, so, that's a big-time factor there. So it's pretty much going to be Saquon, and that's pretty much the only offense. And I don't know. I just feel like, end result, with all of those factors right there, I guess I'm going to have to go with the Redskins for this one. We've got another divisional game here now. We've got the New Orleans Saints, who are sitting at 10-2, going to take on the Buccaneers, sitting at 5-7. We all know that these two teams played in week 1, and the Buccaneers somehow magically were able to beat the Saints. The Saints almost, they could be 11-1 right now had they won that game, which they barely lost it by. But obviously, Saints are winning this game. Saints are way too good. Last week was a fluke, losing to the Cowboys. That game was paid, okay? Jerry Jones had something to do with it. I'm still telling you guys that. Anyways, but, obviously, it's definitely going to be the Saints. I don't see them losing to the Buccaneers. I think they'll get their revenge this week. Wow, we actually have a lot of divisional matchups this week. We've got, the AFC East, actually, all 4 of those teams are going to be playing each other this week, obviously, as we now have the Patriots going to take on the Dolphins. Patriots are sitting 9-3. The Dolphins are sitting at 6-6. And obviously, the Dolphins are trying to hopefully squeak into the playoffs there, get a wild card spot. Although I don't really think, I don't see that happening. I don't think the Dolphins are going to be able to get into the playoffs. There's a lot of other better teams in the AFC that I think will actually get those wild card spots. And the Patriots are just way too good. They rarely lose to the Dolphins, and I don't really ever see it happening. So I think, Patriots, they're definitely going to get the win here, and they're going to be going 10-3. And oh boy, here we go. We've got my game. My Ravens sitting at now 7-5, taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. 10-2. I'm so nervous for this game, man. Like, this should have been flexed to primetime, honestly. We've got the #1 scoring defense against the #1 scoring offense. Lamar Jackson's going to be playing again. I'm like so nervous. Okay, like, I was nervous last week first playing the Falcons because, as you guys know, Lamar's first 2 starts were against, not that great of teams, and he did good. He did what he should have. He got the 2 wins. Last week, he played a really good offense. He played a much better team than the first 2, which was the Falcons, and he got the win. He went 3-0. His performance wasn't, fantastic, but nonetheless, my team was able to get us the win. Now we're going to, like, one of, if not the best team in the league, like top 3 team in the league with the Chiefs. I just don't know, man. Like, I'm so nervous for this game. I hope we can win. I think we can win with the fact that we know Kareem Hunt being out. I think we're absolutely going to shut down the run game. So I'm pretty sure it's just going to be Patrick Mahomes just gunslinging it all over the place, or, trying to against our defense. But as for our offense, I don't know how things are going to go. I think, run-wise, we should have a really good run game because the Kansas City's defense isn't very good. So I don't know, man. I think ultimately this is going to be a really good turnout, but I'm just hoping we can win, man. If we can take down the Chiefs and go 8-5, oh my God, I'm gonna be so hyped. Now we have the Indianapolis Colts. They are sitting 6-6. After that shutout to the Jacksonville Jaguars, that was kind of weird to see. They're going to take on the Texans, who are now sitting at 9-3. And I kind of, part of me like really wants to pick Andrew Luck and the Colts. Actually, you know what? I think I might do that. I think I'm going to pick the Colts. I was about to pick the Texans, but I'm starting to think about this here. Andrew Luck's like trying to drive this team back because they started off the season really bad, but he has brought them around now, man. Sitting at 6-6. They took a tough loss last week, and this would be a huge game for them to win. A divisional matchup against their division leader, the Texans, who are sitting at 9-3. I think that this could be a really good win for Andrew Luck here, and I think I'm going to be rocking with the Colts. I think Andrew Luck is going to get it done. He is going to take down the throne of their division. Next up, we've got two teams that probably at the start of the season were not predicted to have these two records. The Falcons are now 4-8. The Green Bay Packers are 4-7-1. It's kind of crazy to see, man. Mike McCarthy was finally fired from Green Bay, and I think because of that, I'm kind of hoping that's going to turn things around for Aaron Rodgers and the offense, maybe with a new offensive coordinator or a new play caller, because I believe Mike McCarthy was the play caller for the offense. I might be wrong on that, but Green Bay's still really good at home. Obviously, they've only lost one this year, and that was last week to the Cardinals, which was kind of surprising to see. I don't really think many people expected that, and that was definitely the nail in the coffin for the head coach. But nonetheless, I still think Green Bay is going to have themselves a good or a bounce back week here against the Falcons at home. So going to be going with my man Aaron Rodgers once again. Now we've got the Carolina Panthers, who are sitting themselves at 6-6. They were like one of the top teams in the league just a few weeks ago, and they have fallen off big time, sitting at even now 6-6, like I said. And the Cleveland Browns are sitting at 4-7-1. Now, I think I'm going to have to just stick with the Panthers here because obviously they are still in playoff contention. They can obviously win out. That would be really good for them, but they can still get a wild card spot, definitely, for sure. They're not going to get their division because the Saints obviously are taking that by ease, but they could still get a wild card spot, and if they're going to do that, they got to start winning games. They've got to stop losing, and if they lose to the Browns, I honestly think that's probably going to knock them out of the playoffs. I'd say that's going to put a nail in the coffin for them, but I don't really see them losing to the Browns. I think the Browns could put up a good fight. I feel like they could win, though. I don't know, but I just got to stay logical here. I'm going to be going with Carolina. I think Cleveland could win, but I'm going to stick with the Panthers. Now we've got the Denver Broncos, who are sitting at 6-6. They are going to take on the 49ers, who are sitting at 2-10. Obviously, the Broncos just took a big blow this week with Emmanuel Sanders. That definitely sucks for them. But obviously, they're one of those teams as well that kind of started off a little rough to the season, and they're kind of making that turnaround. They're making that push towards the wild card spot, hopefully, and their team's doing a really good job of it, especially, led by their defense, and I think they're going to be able to do it here. I mean, especially against a 2-10 team. If the Broncos are, in that fight trying to get towards the playoffs, losing to the Niners, I don't see that happening. That would be a little bit embarrassing for the Broncos, not going to lie, so I think Denver should easily get the win here. Next up, we have the Cincinnati Bengals sitting at 5-7. They're going to take on the LA Chargers, who are sitting at 9-3. Think about this, guys. This could be an interesting scenario. If my Ravens beat the Chiefs this week and the Chargers win, both those teams will be at 10-3. That's kind of crazy to think about. Like, nobody really is thinking. I feel like the Chargers are they're under the radar. Like, nobody's giving them the respect that they deserve because they're sitting at 9-3 right now, and they're definitely going to be going 10-3. I'm obviously picking the Chargers to win this game. I don't see them losing to the Bengals because the Bengals are just an absolute mess right now. So if the Chargers lose to them, that would just be a big yikes, but I don't know. Obviously, LA has to win this game, but we could definitely see a switch up in the playoff scenario after this week. Now we've got two more low-win teams. We've got the Detroit Lions sitting at 4-8, going to take on the Arizona Cardinals, who are sitting at 3-9. And I think I'm gonna be having to roll with. I'm going to be rolling with the Birds here. I'm going to be going with the Cardinals. They're off of a win from the Packers. They are not going to be home playing against the Lions. And, their defense for the Cardinals still isn't that bad. I mean, obviously, the offense is pretty disgusting. But I don't know. With still a couple of injuries on the Lions, I believe so. I believe Kerryon Johnson's still injured. I don't know. I just think end result, I'm going to be having to go with the Cardinals. I think I see them winning this game rather than the Lions. Now we've got the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are sitting at 7-4-1, going to take on the Oakland Raiders, who are 2-10. This is obviously an easy call here. Steelers are going to win this game. If somehow the Raiders can pull this off, though, and beat the Steelers, which is, like, super unlikely, I would just be in love with the Raiders, dude. Dude, that would, like, think about that. That would be crazy if the Raiders could beat them. You know, at least for my sake, being a Ravens fan, like, we would take the division if we were to win against the Chiefs this week. That would actually be wild, but obviously, the chances of that, like I said, they're pretty slim. So, obviously, Pittsburgh is probably going to be the team that wins. Our last divisional matchup of the week is going to be coming from the NFC East as well. I didn't realize that these two divisions were actually playing, or all 4 teams from the NFC East were playing each other as well. We've got the Eagles now sitting 6-6, going to take on the Cowboys, who are sitting at 8-5. Now, I don't want to take anything away from the Cowboys. Obviously, you know, it was a really good win that they beat the Saints last week. Obviously, there was a ton of bad calls by the refs. I still don't think that, you know, that game should have went the way that it did. Seeing them, you know, shut the Saints down to, what was it, like 10 points or something like that, something's just a little fishy to me still there, but obviously I'm not taking anything away from them. I still think, you know, Zeke and the offense is, you know, starting to get into gear. That young defense is playing really, really good. I think that defense is actually, you know, one of the top in the league, and I still think, you know, the Cowboys have a good shot to win this division, and I think that they're going to pretty much secure it here by beating the Eagles. The Eagles are the only team at this point, I think, that have a chance to be able to sweep in and take the division, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think the Cowboys will pretty much, you know, they'll settle it here. They're going to get the win at home, and they're going to go 8-5, beating the Eagles. Now we've got Sunday Night Football. We've got the LA Rams, who are sitting at 11-1, going to take on the Chicago Bears, who are sitting at 8-4. I saw a stat earlier this week on Twitter that said this game has the past 2 previous defensive player of the years. Yeah, that's it. We've got Aaron Donald and Khalil Mack, the past 2 defensive player of the years, playing against each other, so that'll definitely be pretty interesting. As for who is going to be the winner of this game, however, I mean, logical choice is Rams here, but for some reason, I think I kind of want to go with the Bears. I think I want to go with Chicago winning this game. I think their defense is pretty good. I think with Trubisky being back, it's a home primetime game. I don't know, man. I think, obviously, the Rams are a really good team. I don't think they're going to finish the season 15-1. Obviously, they'll probably get 1, maybe 2 more losses on the year, and I think this could be a really good shot for it. So I think, you know, like my wild pick of the week, this is going to be it here. I'm going to be going with Chicago, I think. And finally, last but not least, we have Monday Night Football. The Minnesota Vikings sitting 6-5-1. They're going to take on the Seattle Seahawks, who are sitting at 7-5. And the winner of this game definitely has to be Seattle. I think they're playing home primetime games for Russell Wilson at Seattle. Is just it's pretty hard to go in there and beat them, especially with the Vikings. They're kind of like, they're like an average team. I mean, the record shows it too. They're 6-5-1, right? And I don't think I can see them going in, traveling, beating that defense. Russell Wilson and that offense is actually getting going a lot big time now, especially with that run game. The offense for the Vikings still is pretty consistent as well, but nonetheless, I think I see Seattle securing the win here, because they definitely, I see them wanting that wild card spot a lot more than the Vikings do. So going to be going with Russell Wilson and Seattle at home. So there you guys have it. There are my predictions for week 14 of this season. But of course, before I let you guys go, we got to take a look at Madden 19's predictions. And to start things off with Thursday Night Football, they once again finally guessed wrong, man. As you guys know, they've guessed pretty much every single game correct this year for Thursday Night Football. So the fact that they got this one wrong is, you know, is good to see. They did pick the Jaguars, so we're both starting off with an incorrect guess for the week. Next up, we have the Jets and the Bills. They are going to be siding with the home team. That is the Buffalo Bills, of course. For the next game, we have the Redskins and the Giants. Once again, going with the home team, going with the Redskins. For the Saints and the Buccaneers, obviously, they're going to be choosing the Saints. No surprise there. Next game, however, for the Patriots and the Dolphins, they're choosing the Patriots. I mean, wait. I'm lying. Wait, they're choosing the Dolphins. I don't know why I said Patriots. They're choosing the Dolphins to win this game. That's kind of an interesting pick there. I feel like they could be right. I don't know. Dolphins sometimes give Patriots a little bit of trouble, I guess, but they're going with Miami, so that's definitely interesting to see. As for my game, the Ravens and the Chiefs, surprisingly, they are picking my Ravens. I definitely did not see that one coming whatsoever. As for the Colts and the Texans, they're also going to be siding with me and choosing the Colts over the Texans, finally taking down those 9-game win streak Texans that they're on right now. As for the Falcons and for the Packers, they are going to be choosing... Sorry if I paused for a second, guys. For some reason on Madden 19, the schedule is sometimes out of order from what I look in, or from what I look on NFL.com for the schedule. So sometimes I have to look for the games. But anyways, for Falcons and the Packers, they are going to be choosing the Falcons, traveling into Lambeau and getting the win. As for Carolina and Cleveland, they are going to be choosing Cleveland to win this game. That's crazy. I think they actually could be right on that. I don't know, man. Hopefully I get the correct guess on that one. However, for Denver and 49ers, they think that the Broncos are going to get stopped by the 49ers, and the home team is going to be winning that game. That's actually kind of crazy to see. For the Bengals and the Chargers, they're also going to be siding with the home team once again. They're going to be choosing the Chargers. That's a good choice there. The Lions and the Cardinals, Lions and the Cardinals, they are going to be going with the away team this time, choosing Detroit to beat the Cardinals. Steelers and Raiders, they are going to be going with the Steelers. That's an obvious choice there. For the Eagles and Cowboys, they have the Eagles traveling to Dallas and getting the win. That would be crazy to see. And then for Sunday Night Football, the Rams and the Bears, they are also going to be siding with me and choosing the Bears to win this game. Okay, that's kind of cool to see. And then last but not least, for Monday Night Football, the Vikings and the Seahawks, they're also going to be choosing the home team, which is the Seattle Seahawks. So there you guys have it, man. There are our Week 14 predictions. I hope all of you guys enjoyed, man. If you did, be sure to go ahead, put a thumbs up on the video, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, and of course, enjoy some football today because, guys, we are in our last 4 weeks of regular season football. It's so sad to see, like, the season just goes by so quick. It feels like it takes forever for the season to get here, and then it just disappears like that. So, once again, guys, I hope you all enjoyed. I will catch you all in the next one. Take it easy, guys. Peace out.